It was a warm May morning in 1990 with the sun polishing the steel and glass walls of the NatWest building that rose over the cluster of city banks, insurance offices and, hidden from view, the Bank of England with its Greek columns and the Union Jack fluttering above the roof as if to say all was well in the world. And it was, at least for Keith Cheeseman. He moved away from the window. Keith hated the NatWest. In fact, his dislike of banks was such that he would have taken one down every day of the week if he'd had the chance. But there was something specifically irritating about the National Westminster, the way it blocked his view like a raised finger. He smiled. "I'll have you one of these days." He glanced around. An Englishman's home is his castle. This was his. The penthouse at the Barbican, London, with fresh flowers in tall blue vases and Persian rugs neatly placed over shiny oak wood floors. Mrs. Primrose, the cleaning lady, kept everything immaculate the way he liked it. He had learned in the army there is a place for everything, and everyone has their place. He'd signed on at 18 with the Royal Artillery in 1961 and did 6 years. An unlucky number intoned twice in his life by judges as they cracked their gavels down on the bench. At 24, he entered Civvy Street with a vague plan to become richer than his rich brother. Keith didn't find it hard making a living in business, but crime made him feel alive. It filled the empty spaces inside him, the sense of boredom, of repeating yourself. When you're on a job, you step out on the high wire. There's no safety net. Every second is packed with life, that feeling that one slip and you're dead. It is all-consuming. Aside from the money, he thought of robbing banks as a counterbalance to banks robbing everyone else, with their insatiable greed for profits that filter up to the shareholders and executives. Was he going to charge into the NatWest with a sawn-off shotgun and a getaway driver outside with the motor running? No. Keith was a fraudster, a con man, the last of the old-time villains, men with pride in their craft, a certain honour among thieves who say fair cop when they're collared, never carry a weapon, and never grass. He thought of himself more as Robin Hood or Dick Turpin, looting banks, not to give to the poor exactly, but to spend lavishly and tip heavily. Trickle down, Mrs. Thatcher called it. Defrauding banks is clean. If you dip into someone's account, the bank is duty-bound to repay the money. No one gets hurt, except the banks. He strode down the hall in carpet slippers and put the kettle on. He took a grip on the roll of flesh over his waist, then went up on his toes to stretch his shoulders. He was a big man, still fit from athletics and football. He could have gone pro and had trials for Everton and Birmingham, but back in the day, Stanley Matthews, the most famous player in the country, was only earning £23 a week. How could you live on that? That's the downside of the good life. You eat too much. You get addicted to the faint waft of the Caribbean every time you light a Monte Cristo. When you open a bottle of 1968 Chateau Lafite, you're not going to leave half.